This is Insanity Radio, 103.2 FM.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello. You're listening to
Insanity
Radio.
This is Insanity.
They play a really good mix between like the modern tunes.
You actually have money to buy a radio?
I think we got a show to do.
And wave my arms around, hoping for the light to come on.
It's like a thing where you play music and then you talk a little bit and then, you know, your family pretends to listen, but they really don't.
A long week in the office, or, you know, you've been stressing about exams.
This is Insanity Radio, 103.2 FM.
And that was Residence by Home, a classic vaporwave tune. Welcome to Big Thoughts and Small Talk. I'm your host, Ilija Manovic. I am joined in the studio by our very gracious guest host. Introduce yourself, my friend.
Hello, I am Ian. Formerly, well, I was about to say, I think we're still currently a thing, of co-host of Unhappy Hour, and now a new show coming up very soon, host of Give Me an Education.
Ooh,
it's a new show.
Sounds good. What's Give Me an Education about?
Give Me an Education is getting people that I know and people that do cool things, and say maybe it's a sports scene, that kind of stuff, to get me to do something that they really, really find fun and maybe make myself look silly in the process. But fundamentally, they are doing that so that they can give me an education what they do. So prepared to see me being potentially hit by American football players and that kind of stuff. It should all be quite fun.
Please film it all.
Definitely will. Hope so.
We are also joined in the studio by Will. Say hello. He's doing well.
How are we doing?
I'm doing very good. How was your summer?
It was wonderful. I am Ian's other half, for context, or former other half. One might argue. We still do a show.
Did we break up?
We'll talk about that maybe later.
I'm so sad if the dream team is dead.
No. Yes, would I.
Yeah, definitely. So, our topic of the day, continuing from last show's theme, coincidentally, is artificial intelligence and automation. Spooky, spooky stuff. What do you guys think about what the future holds?
I think AI is fundamentally a good thing and will lead to luxury gay space communism.
Well, we all want gay space communism, but I have also seen Terminator, so there's a little part of me which is dreadfully terrified.
Actually, fun fact, that
Is that just because you're a fundamentally lazy man, Ian?
No.
Okay.
He sees the Amazon supermarkets where there's no like cashiers or registers. You just walk in and walk out.
No, was it? Actually, come back to what you're saying about Terminator. I was at school, and there is quite a funny story about one of my teachers said that at the previous school he taught at, there was a guy that he used to teach called Skynet.
No,
I'm not kidding. He was called Skynet, and he had a girlfriend.
What was the girlfriend's name?
Ice Cream.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, I think of AI... Ice cream and Skynet. It's a dreaded combo, you know, that's the future. It's killer robots and Chunky Monkey. I can't wait. It sounds exciting. I'm dreadfully terrified of AI because, I mean, think about, you know, unemployment, you know, these are serious issues. Like, I was at Tesco's today. And, I mean, you know, as you do, I'm usually a Waitrose shopper because, you know, I'm a pompous Tory. But I was at Tesco, and these automatic checkouts are horrible. They don't even work. They need an assistant to...
Okay, so my response to that would be, is if you're Tesco, what you currently have...
Which he isn't.
Yeah, okay. If you're Tesco, the company, in terms of what is more economically efficient, you have, say, 10 lanes of sort of permanently manned tills, all of which have sort of like ones with conveyor belt on them, and they are permanently manned. And they get through a lot of customers. If you then have self-service checkouts where for 99% of things, or say even 90% of things, you then have people doing it themselves, and that 1 time in 10 that you do, that one machine screws up and that you need to get an attendant over. That way you've got one attendant overseeing 10 tills, which A, reduces the amount of floor space per paid employee that you have there, and hopefully over time should lead costs down. I mean that you, the consumer, might get lower prices.
That dreaded capitalist system of making efficiency and discarding jobs. Like, I mean, the thing is, I quite like going to the line, having a little chat with the cashier. I mean, I think it brightens their day as well. I mean, they're not in a particularly exciting job, and I think it's that loss of human connection that we're,
That is very true. However,
I want to go to Tesco's and I want to have a philosophical conversation with the person who's
good luck with
scanning
that.
my onions. Okay.
Good luck with that.
What are you saying about people that work at Tesco, Ian?
I'm not saying anything about people that work at Tesco.
I have a couple of friends who work at Tesco. It's almost like you're personally attacking them. You want to see them out in the street, out in the cold. Winter is coming. You want to see them.
What I want them to experience is post-scarcity economy, where the land of plenty is a thing, and that they don't need to work because they have everything there with their 3D food printers and that kind of thing.
Ooh.
And we now have this flickering light.
Who's
going to die next?
The AI is becoming self-aware. Skynet's come. He's heard our podcast and he's messing with our lives.
Ice Crew's just followed him after.
Okay, well, our next song coming up is Doing It Right by Daft Punk, a classic from Random Access Memories. Remember, you are listening to Insanity Radio 103.2 FM.
Correct.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome back to Insanity 103.2
FM.
FM, exactly. That was great. That was American Dream by LCD Sound System, a classic. Now, we've run a poll in our little break, and it was, is AI our destruction or our liberation? And we've had 2 votes, and, well, we're all doomed, apparently, according to the 2 voters that entered our poll.
Well, that was it. All for... But we're doomed. We
are doomed. I mean, I agree with the listeners, to be honest. Now, talking about AI, Elon Musk. We love Elon, don't we?
Reputable source.
Very reputable. Very reputable. This is an article from a year ago. Elon Musk has launched a $1 billion crusade to stop the AI apocalypse. Ooh.
That's very kind of him.
It's very kind. I mean, like, he's a very altruistic person when he's not going on Joe Rogan and, smoking.
Yes.
That ruined that. What was it? His stock price plummeted like $4 million, I think.
Yes. Also, things that ruined the Tesla stock price was him saying that he's going to take the company private, which completely trashed their stock price.
I think he actually he's not. Yeah, he got fired by the board on Tesla. Poor Elon. I feel so bad for him.
I don't.
I don't either.
I don't.
He built a flamethrower and he sold it, and he's a bit like a...
He's a child.
He's like a disappointing Tony Stark, I think. He's...
I get that. I get that.
I get that as well.
A disappointing South African Tony Stark. And, I mean, okay, let's have a look at his... AI. So he predicts an AI apocalypse, and he's just sinking so much money into preventing. I mean, who else warned us about AI? I believe that
Stephen Hawking did.
The late great Stephen Hawking warned us about the potential dangers.
But was he an AI himself?
Oof. Was it? I'm not sure if that's too soon. Was it Stephen Hawking, or was it the computer the whole time?
We don't know.
Just sucking the life force out of Steve. Oh no, okay, I'm stopping right now.
Yeah, we probably should.
That was bad. Now, you told me that your dad knows the robot voice of Tesco.
My dad, when DJ Mike was a DJ, he's now gone on to other things. When he was a DJ, on the circuit that he used to tour on, as being a DJ, sort of down in the southwest, around Devon, that kind of stuff. He came to know the now voice of the Tesco self-service checkout, which is one of the great claims to fame.
Oh yes.
I don't know if they've seen each other in a long time, but he then found out one day he walked into Tesco's like, oh, I know that voice.
That's Barry. I didn't know that he was working as a robot from now on. And okay, so
forever memorialised is the Tesco self-service checkout voice.
That's the thing. When humanity is destroyed by our own hubris, the only thing that will be left is just voice recordings of this man. Just in the future, aliens pick up this broadcast. Scan items, please.
Unexpected item in the bagging area.
Thank you for shopping at Tesco.
What do these humans mean?
Please scan your club card. Your points add up.
And, okay, so the voices differ with the supermarket you go to. So it's a male voice for Tesco, according to you. I still didn't pick up.
It is a male voice.
It's a male voice. And, I mean, again, being a Waitrose shopper, I just find the female robot voice more comforting. I just, there's nothing I like more than being calmed when I'm scanning onions and, ground beef.
That's twice you use the example of scanning onions. How many onions do you go through in a week?
I eat a lot of onions.
You must smell very bad.
I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, it's
onions
true.
have layers.
Onions have layers. Ilija has layers. That's it. I just made a Shrek reference. And if you're looking at the live stream now, I do in fact look like the human version of Shrek, according to about half the people I've met.
That's not very nice.
That's a bit mean.
Honestly, he's not bad though. He's got quite a masculine jaw. So
That's all right, then.
I was about to say, he is literally, though, an ogre.
yeah, is he better looking as an ogre or as a human? I'd say the human Shrek is more.
But I think what you're alluding to there, though, is that what you're not alluding to there, though, even, is the fact that when Shrek became human, that was a effective modern retelling of what's the one where the princess kisses the frog and then he's
The Princess and the Frog.
that one, yes, Princess and the Frog. That is a modern retelling of that.
I didn't even notice that. I thought
that
there
beauty is on the inside. And that those who dare to love someone that is beautiful on the inside may witness beauty on the outside.
I mean, I thought they were just getting creative with the plotline and just being more adventurous.
Maybe there's that.
I didn't even think about that. My favourite scene in that whole movie, because it's an emotionally wrecking scene, is when the giant gingerbread man is bombarded by artillery and falls into the moat. It's
Don't they pour milk on him or hot milk on him or something like that? It's like, what is this, bedtime?
I mean, there's a few scenes that I get emotional about when I think about my childhood, and that's one of them.
So why do you get emotional about that? What really hits home?
What really hits home? Oh, sloths, cute sloths. Really, I don't know. I'm jealous of their lives. Being a university student. Absolutely. I mean, maybe
spirit animal.
It is my spirit animal. Like I love my naps. I love coming home after an afternoon of lectures, making a meal, and then just dying for about 2 hours. I mean, I really should be reading and studying in the library, and I try and make time for that. I do, but sleep and dreams, and falling asleep,
and a nice cup of coffee from Cafe on the Square when you wake up.
That's it.
TM.
Total. I mean, it's not like we have two baristas working here.
I'm not biased in any way,
We're totally not legally obliged to promote Cafe on the Square.
Also, please. We have multiple other very, very beautiful establishments on campus, which are nowhere near as busy as Cafe on the Square. Namely, one of them very near us is Boiler House. Boiler House is such a lovely cafe.
It really is great. I mean, if you see a line at Cafe on the Square, we appreciate your business, but for the consumer, we know that you want to get your coffee and get out of there. Boiler House is also.
Boiler House or even Crosslands, it's still a very good place.
I'm pretty sure all the revenue pools. I mean, it's all the same.
Yes.
I mean, we're not taking away from our business.
No, we just say go somewhere else, please.
Exactly.
It's very, very busy. I don't want to sort of die on my feet.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm working the 10 p.m. till 4 a.m. on Wednesday. So
it is a lovely shift, though.
It is a great shift. If you want to pop in for a cuppa.
Oh, no.
Cup in for a popper.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Don't cup in, please. Pop in for a cup of tea, have a little chat, talk about our radio show. We very much appreciate your service. And on that note, we have a song coming up, one of my personal favourite synthwave tracks. It is Black Thunder by Morgan Willis. You're listening to 103.2 FM Insanity Radio. Welcome back. You are listening to Insanity 103.2 FM. That was Aerodynamic by Kraftwerk. I just have to say a quick shout out to my cousin Jonathan in Australia. He specifically requested that I play odd German techno music. I don't understand why. He's got a very specific taste, but that's for you, Jono, if you're listening, which you probably aren't because it's very late in Australia in the morning.
How late?
I don't know. My natural Australia body clock is off. Ever since I live in the US, it's just I'm all screwy with time zones.
I was about to say, surely don't you live in the UK?
And I live in the UK as well. I'm a man.
Your body clock is ruined.
It's ruined. I honestly, it is. That's why I have so many naps. So we were talking about in our break Facebook reactions and the five whittled down reactions that I think AI is going to have. Wow, like, loving, sad react, angry react. That's the future, really, when you think about it.
What, speaking in only Facebook emojis?
Well, just human emotions in general. I think when we do eventually converge with computers, the human emotions will, we're not going to have complex emotions. We're only
Do you think we will become cyborgs like that?
I think it's possible. With brain chips and all that, I think that's, it's not far off.
Do you think we will be like Picard the Borg?
The Borg. Ooh, the Borg. Listen, everyone gives the Borg, hate, but they're efficient. You have to. They're well efficient at what they do, which is assimilating Borg people things.
So what do you think's more realistic? Us becoming the Borg or Cybermen?
Oh, I don't like Cybermen. They scare me more than the Borg.
Well,
the Borg have that cheesy 1980s, you can't take them too seriously. Cybermen are just intimidating.
I think that's actually, in fairness, if you do look at the original Cybermen, they are not intimidating.
Okay, if we're talking about the 1960s Cybermen, I think honestly I look forward to that future with tinfoil men running around. I think that would just be the best thing ever.
Well, you're gonna have to explain what you've got here.
Show the camera.
He's got just got a picture of one of the Borg on there. With some mutilated hand. And one eye.
Who doesn't want to live in a cube in space? That's all I'm saying,
I prefer the Cybermen.
So why would you rather be a Cyberman than a member of the Borg?
I'd rather have no face than that face.
But the Cybermen are permanently sat on. I guess that matches your personality since you're not coming with us to medicine tonight.
Exactly.
Boo!
Stony eyes.
Stony eyes. Sad, cold glare. Absolutely.
What would you rather be? So you...
If I choose any robot from, culture,
yeah,
that's tough. I think I'd quite like to be R2-D2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's quite pleasant, and, no one can really... I love how people... I do not care what anyone says. No one can understand that robot. I swear he's telling them completely different things, but they're just like, we gotta play with the robot and all that. He's probably like, these bloody humans, they're useless. I don't know what I'm going.
Honestly, welcome to your first show on radio. This is no one really knows what we're doing.
It's 9:55 at night. I've had a long day. I woke up from a nap before this, so I'm still a bit groggy. Exactly, always groggy on the radio waves, which is good. If you
remember the Borg, however, you would be permanently awake, I believe.
Permanently awake. I could do that. I'd get a lot done. Mind you, it would be in the name of, assimilating non-Borgs. What is the plural of Borg? Is it like...
Borgii.
Borgii. Borgers. It's the Borgia.
I think it just probably is Borg.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, though...
What is the singular?
the thing is, though, it's actually what I'd say is actually considering where we work. I think that actually contractually at some point we might all become Borg.
I think so. I think so too.
But with sort of espresso machines built into the wrist.
You will be foamed. Oh, that sounds dirty. Well, I think that we have to wrap up our show. It has been great having well, according to our poll, 2 listeners. But if there's anyone else out there listening in, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for joining me on my first show. I absolutely loved my time here. I'd like to express my deepest thanks to my guest co-hosts for the day, Ian and Will.
Thank you very much.
God bless.
You guys, I had to return the favour from last year.
We have to tell you that this is your first and last show, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was about to say, I hate to break it to you.
You're being axed.
I figured that would happen. Such is the nature of my life. I'm a habitual line stepper.
What we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing to you that I think is it NBC or CNN did to Piers Morgan.
Oh no! Don't send me to the X Factor, please.
We're going to liquidate you.
Piers Morgan, what is that man doing with his life? Probably nothing useful.
Productive things.
Productive things indeed. All right, thank you very much for listening in on Big Thoughts and Small Talk. I've been your host, Ilija Dokmanovic, joined by Ian and Will. You are listening to 103.2.
We share a surname because we are married.
That's true.
Okay, God bless.
Congratulations.
It's double-barrelled.
Oof. Was it a Vegas wedding?
It was.
Brilliant. To take us out, we have my personal favourite experimental rap techno group, Death Grips, and a shout out to Alice who told me to put it on. Thank you very much for listening. This is Insanity Radio 103.2 FM.